Welcome to Education 270. Each week, before you start your presentation, I'd like you to watch the introduction video that gives you directions for how to work through the presentation and also will help you focus on the areas that are most important. Our focus this week is effective teachers of reading. We start each week with a message. Just like teachers begin with a morning message or a circle time activity, I want you to read the message each week. Sometimes it has directions in it, and sometimes it's just informational about what we're learning. But each week in the weekly class message, I give you the journal questions that you're going to focus on throughout the presentation. The journal questions this week are located on the left, and it might be helpful to jot them down, and as you work your way through the presentation, write answers and notes. The reason I give them to you in the beginning is so you can think about them as you work through the presentation information. That way, at the end, when you have to write your journal, it's very easy to answer the questions. Each week you'll answer a journal and it will be worth 10 points, and that will be Dropboxed, and you'll get more information to come about that. Another thing that we do within the presentations are work through an online platform called Padlet, and we do a lot of collaborative thinking through Padlet. So we're going to start off this week with a brainstorm, and you're going to just visit the link. And when you get to Padlet, it's very simple. You're going to read the question at the top as soon as it loads. And then all you have to do is tap in the middle of the board, anywhere, and then put your name on for title. So I put Professor Myers. And then you click right here and you can type your answer. You can also do different things, add links, add photos, upload things. So it's a great platform for sharing. We'll do a lot of sharing on here of answers, videos, pictures. If you make a mistake, you can always get rid of it. Okay, and try again. So that's Padlet. Then we're going to talk about learning literacy in the 21st century. Some of you are going to be of an age where you grew up with 21st century literacy learning in your classroom, and others, this is something brand new. So I want you to watch the video right here. And then at the end, just think about, were these experiences the same as your literacy experiences, or are they different? And we need to keep that in context as we work our way through the semester. Something else we're going to talk about this week is who can be a teacher of reading. A lot of you may have been public school students and you learned to read from a teacher, but some of you may have been homeschooled or cyber schooled. And so we're going to debate a question: do teachers need personal knowledge or professional knowledge to really be a successful teacher of reading? And there's 4 components when it comes to teachers of reading. Teachers need formal instructional information, intuition, knowledge and training, and assessment. So I want you to think about these questions. Which is more important, personal knowledge or professional knowledge? Do you need both kinds of knowledge? And can parents successfully teach reading? Listen to the information in the video on the left, and then click on our Padlet link right here. And you're going to answer different questions on the board. Okay, so you have to answer at least one of these questions. If you have areas that you'd like to comment on each, you may do that as well. Okay. There are several approaches to teaching literacy. I want you to watch the video and learn about those different approaches. And as you watch, there are 2 questions for you to think about. This information is going to be information I want to see shared in your journal, and it does say that at the bottom right here. So you might want to take a few notes referring to these questions and use those in your journal answer. Here's a little sorting activity we're going to do. What you're going to do is look at the 5 types of different literacy things, and then you're going to match the different types of literacy with the answer. Watch the video for an explanation when you finish. Balanced literacy is a topic that you'll hear a lot throughout this course. We want our literacy instruction to be balanced. And what you're going to learn this semester is there's a lot of different components of literacy. There's word identification, there's phonics and phonemic awareness, there's comprehension skills, there's fluency skills, there's writing skills, there's decoding skills. And all of this has to be taught, and it has to be taught simultaneously. So what we're going to learn over the course of the semester is, first of all, what are all those things? But also, what parts of balanced literacy do you have to maintain in your classroom, and how might you get that balance? If you read chapter 1, specifically pages 16 to 18, and look closely at figure 1-3, you're going to get some answers to start thinking about this topic of balancing literacy in your classroom. Part of learning and understanding is making connections. So I want you to really think about how you learned to read as a child. Was it more teacher-centered or student-centered? How do you think you'll teach students to read? Will it be more teacher-centered or learner-centered? And what have you seen in classrooms? If you're in Education 270, chances are you've been out doing field experiences for HACC or even just spending time in classrooms. What kind of literacy instruction have you observed in classrooms? Was it more teacher-centered, more learner-centered? What did you like? What did you dislike? And then you're going to click right here on these words, and it's going to take you into a Padlet board where you're going to answer all 3 of those questions for us. I'm going to introduce the journal project to you, and one of the things that whenever there's a new project, it will be embedded in your presentation, so you can just watch the video instructions. It's also helpful to go on D2L and look up the information on the weekly reflective journal. There's a handout there on the project. It's good to have that handout with you as you watch the video, or at least flip back and forth so you can see it in print as well. Some things to remember: your journals are going to be due every Thursday night at midnight and every Sunday night at midnight. So we break our week down into 2 parts, part A and part B, and every Thursday night they're due, and I'll check them Friday morning, and then every Sunday night they're due, I'll check them Monday morning. Each journal that you do is worth 10 points, and it comes out to a total of 150 points over the course of the semester. That 10 points is broken down. 7 points are the facts and answers that you put into your questions, and then 3 points are making a personal connection. So I want to know, how you're going to implement this in your classroom. Have you seen it in classrooms? Always making that personal connection. The very last slide is probably the most important slide of all of our presentations in this course, because they are going to share with you a checklist or a numbered list of what you need to do at this point to get you ready for the due date. So everything that we do on Monday is due Thursday night. So that's what we're looking at right here. You'll have your first journal, and I just have some directions for you this week. Right here are the journal questions. You'll Dropbox that on D2L. This week you have 3 Padlet boards. They come from slides 3, slides 5, and slide 9. And then you need to read chapter 1 in your text just to review what we've learned this week. Then Friday morning you'll start a new set of presentations for us. That's week 1, part B. And you'll do this all over again. Go through your presentation. And then when you get finished, everything will be due Sunday night. And remember, always check that last slide because it tells you what you need to do. If you don't see it on this last slide, it shouldn't be on the syllabus or the course calendar, and you don't have to worry about it. But anything that's due weekly is going to be right here. All right, enjoy the first presentation.